we got the Panthers and the Falcons. You got a rookie quarterback versus a team that's drafted 3 offensive skill positions over the last few years in the first round. You got Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and now Bijan Robinson. So, and the Panthers, they got Bryce Young, they got Adam Thielen, they got that rookie receiver from Ole Miss.
That one guy.
One guy. You got the Brian Burns, who sounds like he's holding out now, may not start the season. So I'm actually going to pick the Falcons in this one. I think their offensive line, with the way their rushing attack was last season, they have 3 with Bijan, Tyler Algier. They still have Cordero Patterson. They just have more offensive weapons than the Panthers do. And say what you will about their defense, but I think they're going to outscore the Panthers in this one.
No love for the hometown team. On to the Texans-Ravens game. Do you really need me to give you a prediction on this one? CJ Stroud is going to be a project. He's going to need time to develop, and the Ravens are at full force, fully healthy, with Lamar Jackson under contract. Good luck. If the Texans can keep it within 30, I think that's a moral victory, if you will.
Well, the Texans roster doesn't really even sniff the Ravens right now. Granted, it's funny how little people have been talking about Will Anderson. I feel like no one's even talked about him this offseason after he was hyped up as possibly the number 1 pick before Bryce Young.
Well, the only reason we've talked about Jalen Carter is because of his various criminal activities, so he's a defensive player.
That is definitely part of the equation. Then we got the Bengals and Browns. And sorry, as much as I want to piss off the fans of Cincinnati, the Browns are not going to be good this year. They're going to win maybe 5 games. Maybe. They're going to be the worst team in the AFC North. The Bengals are going to win this one. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Miles. They just have a much more talented roster. I know Myles Garrett's on the Browns. I don't know why I said Myles Garrett. But their roster's much better. Bengals are going to win. Browns aren't winning. They're going to suck this year.
So much hatred towards the Cleveland Browns. They're such a high-standing, morally strict team. Don't know why.
I'm really surprised they haven't re-signed Kareem Hunt.
Anyway, Jaguars Colts. The Jaguars defense isn't as good as some people would like you to think, but they're going to go out there, salt the earth against Indianapolis. Rookie quarterback, least experience of any franchise quarterback ever. No all-pro running back. It's going to be rough. Maybe they keep it a close game just because the clock doesn't go on for that long, but the Jaguars are winning this one.
I agree. They have the better offense, especially what Trevor Lawrence did in the playoffs last year against the Chargers. I think he's just going to continue that role, especially with Calvin Ridley. Then we got the Bucs and Vikings. I really would love to see the Bucs win just because it would, send Isaiah into a depressive state. Wouldn't be that good for him.
You think I let my emotional state be determined by a football game, a week 1 football game, maybe a playoff game?
You were pretty upset when the Giants beat the Vikings.
Yeah, because I'd have to hear about it from you all offseason. That's a rare exception.
Granted, I do think the Vikings win this one. It'll be interesting to see how Alexander Mattison takes over that lead role as the running back, especially against a Bucs defense that has been very solid run defense over previous seasons. Granted, that's not the focal point of the Vikings offense, and I'm sure Justin Jefferson will go for 150, and Jordan Addison may add on another 80, and they're going to walk out with a win.
It truly concerns me that you're predicting them to win, I'll be honest with you. That's making me a bit nervous.
That the Vikings are going to win?
I know, you predicting them to win is making me
bad.
nervous. The kiss of death is there. Note the sign behind you, 0 days since last cold take. There's been a cold take today, we just don't know which one yet.
You need a sign too.
On to the Titans-Saints. The Titans are weak offensively, I think is the polite way to put it. Some would say the worst team in the league, removing Derrick Henry. But they're going up against the Saints, notoriously bad run defense. So I think it turns into a nice slow dance. Carr's taking his time, getting adjusted to Olave and can't guard Mike. Their running game is not fully there since Kamara is suspended for brutally assaulting a guy. I think the Titans pull this one out. Behind a Derrick Henry masterclass. If Derrick Henry doesn't have a masterclass, Titans ain't pulling it out.
Okay, that's one where I wouldn't be shocked who walks out with a win either way. If Derek Carr and the Saints have it figured out, I don't think they will. And once again, week 1, weird things happen. I think that's one the Titans probably win this season, especially with Mike Vrabel and some of the continuity they have in offense. They have D-Hop. They have Traylon Burks is healthy, right? I know he got injured this offseason.
He should be healthy.
But he should be playing. So I think the Titans, they got now Peter Skoronski added to that offensive line. So hopefully that'll help on the interior. I believe he's playing guard. So I would agree with you on that one. Next up, we got the 49ers and the Steelers. And the Steelers in previous seasons seem to be one for week 1 upsets. They upset the Bills, was it last year, 2 seasons ago in week 1? TJ Watt is back. Kenny Pickett, in the preseason at least, looked better than ever, a lot better than his rookie year. George Pickens seems like he's going to take a massive step forward this season. They have Pat Freiermuth. They have Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Their defense is always good. So I think the Steelers are going to upset the 49ers. I think they're going to get a win in week 1. TJ Watt is going to dominate, and we're going to see all the strides that Kenny Pickett made from last season to this season and during the offseason.
Well, unless Trent Williams tore his ACL and I don't know about it, I have a hard time seeing any defensive end dominating unless they just put him on the other side of the field from old Trent. But I think it'd be very funny if the 49ers lost just because of all the quarterback controversy they've had going on this offseason. On to an intriguing matchup between the Commanders and the Cardinals. And I think the Commanders are a sneaky contender to go to the divisional, maybe even the NFC Championship game. Supremely underrated. That all depends on Sam Howell, the well-constructed roster. And then you've got the Cardinals, who are starting either Josh Dobbs or someone else of inferior quality. So I'll give this one to the Commanders. We'll be interested to see what Sam Howell looks like in year 2, though.
The Commanders are walking away with an easy win here. I mean, they're definitely setting up to, hopefully for them, make a playoff push. I don't think they necessarily will, but they have better receivers. They have the better quarterback, at least for week 1. And their defense, they got a lot of pieces in that front 7, so they should walk away with an easy victory in that one. Now we got the Packers and the Bears. This is a tough one for me. I want to pick Justin Fields. I want to pick the Bears. I think their offense is going to be a lot better this season. And Jordan Love is a massive unknown. We don't know exactly what we're going to get from him. But I think I'm going to roll with the Packers just because their defense is significantly better than the Bears. I like I like Christian Watson a lot. I like Romeo Doubs. As much, even though I talked bad about Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, they're solid running backs, offensive line, solid. So I think the Packers still win this one.
You are a man of weak convictions, my friend. You should have just said, Bears dominate Justin Fields MVP season, rah-rah. 1919 tie.
Oh, okay.
Calling it right now. I'm pointing out towards the light saying 1919 tie. Speaking of uninteresting games, the Raiders-Broncos game is the game you're going to turn on so you can start your afternoon nap before Sunday Night Football. No one is going to be watching this game if they're not affiliated with one of these two teams. Russ isn't going to cook. Broncos defense still good. So I'm thinking a nice, slow, boring Broncos victory just because we have no clue what the deal is with Jimmy Garoppolo's foot. So I'll say Broncos, but I couldn't.
I'm going to say Raiders. I think the Raiders walk away with the win there, but like you said, I don't even know outside of these two fan bases who's going to watch that game. So next up, we got a hot matchup, especially with the discussion that was going on last season with the topic of social media quarterback. But we have Justin Herbert versus the Miami Dolphins, and I'm not a big believer in the Dolphins this season. I still think they get somewhere. They're going to get 8, 9, or 10 wins. They're still going to be in that range. Dolphins fans want to think they're going to dominate with the receivers that they have and, Tua healthy the entire year. That's not going to be the case. The Chargers are getting set to dominate. They have a fantastic receiving core. They have Austin Eckler. They made additions along the defense, especially when it comes to run defense. So I think the Chargers walk away with the win on this one.
The Chargers are going to start their year 7-1, and this is the one.
This is the one?
This is the one. The only time the Dolphins are good are when Tua Tagovailoa is healthy. He is healthy right now. I don't think you would disagree with that statement. They're a much better team when he's not dealing with the side effects of a concussion.
He's also not as good as Justin Herbert.
No, but Justin Herbert's weapons aren't as good as his. His O-line's probably not as good as his. I'd say it's marginal, although Armstrong's been dealing with some injury. So we'll have to see. His defense is probably comparable. I think it'd be an interesting game. I'll definitely be watching this one, though. On, though, to the Eagles and the Patriots. And we're going to get to see how that Eagles defense looks bright and early week 1 against a horrible offense. All the people who have said, the Eagles didn't lose that much, they're going to feel validated after this game. The Patriots cut Bailey Zappi to make Mac Jones feel better about himself. This is the second time they've done that. First they did it to Cam Newton, now they did it to Zappi. That should tell you what you need to know about Mac Jones, his confidence, his presence in that locker room, who he is as a leader and a player. He's not him. Eagles are going to smoke them. Patriots are able to keep it close thanks to their defense, their defensive-minded head coach, but it ain't going to be too close for our friends in New England.
Well, they also reportedly have said they give Juju Smith $33 million, and now his knee apparently is going to explode, is what the reporting is now. I don't even know what that means. But the Patriots aren't close to as good a team as the Eagles. I don't think they really got much of a shot at winning this one. So I'm picking the Eagles as well there. Next up, we have the Rams, Seahawks. I mean, you hear how we think you might make a Super Bowl push in the Seahawks in the NFC. So I don't think this one's close. Cooper Kupp isn't going to play. Basically a 95% chance, it sounds like, at this point. So you don't have Cooper Kupp. They don't have much else on that offense except Stafford. So Seahawks should win that one pretty easily.
Yeah, if Kupp doesn't play, it's going to be a blowout. If he does, I'd say it's a much more entertaining game. I might even give it to the Rams. But all in all, I'm going to side with our friends, the Dirty Birds, or the clean, well-washed Seabirds, if Kupp is indeed out. Finally, we have the Giants-Cowboys game.
I got one more, too.
Oh, you got one more? Well, that's the Sunday night game I'm talking about. Finally, for me, you're going to get a nice large mouthful in with both these. So, Cowboys are the best team in the NFC East roster-wise. There's a big question at quarterback for them in terms of if Dak can elevate himself. But their O-line's comparable to the Eagles. They've got better offense. I'd say they got a better running game. The receivers, bit mixed. I'd say the better number one receiver resides in Dallas, slightly over A.J. Brown with CeeDee Lamb. And their defense is phenomenal. Their D-line's great, their cornerbacks are great, and they're going up against the New York Giants, who were lucky to make the playoffs last year, had to pull out a late one against the Commanders to even make that happen, and were even luckier to play the Minnesota Vikings. One-score game, by the way, when they played them in the playoffs. How badly did the Cowboys beat the Vikings when they played them in the regular season? 40-3, I think?
The Cowboys beat the Vikings?
Cowboys beat the Vikings, yeah.
Yeah.
37-point game. Yeah, so that should be an indication of the disparity between these two teams. Cowboys are winning this one. He's going to try and cope and justify and say Daniel Jones masterclass. It's just not happening.
Well,
the Cowboys are winning.
Well, I'm shocked that you didn't throw out there that Dak Prescott has beat the Giants 10 times and has never lost to them. That is something he could use to, put down.
Are we going to use regression to the mean? Is that going to be the logic here? Like, oh, he's going to lose to us eventually.
No, that's not. That's what you should have used if you're using that big old brain of yours to say why the
I don't
Cowboys are
believe
going to
in
win.
regression to the mean, son.
You don't mean continuation of the mean?
I mean regression to the mean. They would be regressing to a losing record. Tell us why the Giants are going to win.
The Giants are going to win because Brian Daboll is that guy. Saquon Barkley, he's got another year of full health under his belt. Their wide receiver room, deepest wide receiver room in the NFL. They have Darren Waller, the most athletically gifted tight end in the NFL. Is when it comes to
the
height,
receiving room
speed,
I'll
catching.
Agree. I agree. The receiving room is the deepest in the NFL. They're all the exact same level of skill, and they're all trash.
No, that is not true. That is not true. That is the furthest thing from the truth. Isaiah's going to tell you they all suck, but they have a very solid group, especially with Darren Waller.
They're friendly. They're good with kids. They watch film a lot. They spend a lot of time in the weight room.
Defense, secondary, much improved with Deontay Banks. Trey Hawkins balled out in preseason and in minicamp, so I think he's going to be their third corner, probably be behind Adoree and Deontay Banks. And then they have Xavier McKinney. He's been back there for a number of seasons. Linebackers will be improved with Isaiah Simmons added to that group, although it sounds like he's probably going to rush the passer more than he has in the past. And then they have Azeez Ojulari. They have Kayvon Thibodeau coming off the edge. They have Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence in the middle. They have a great team, and they are going to upset the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Now, the final game we're talking about is the Buffalo Bills, or what is it? The Orchard? Or they are no? Where's it? I don't even know where the stadium is since you always make the New Jersey jokes, but it's not in Buffalo.
I didn't say a thing about the Jersey jokes. Your insecurity, sure, Owen. The Buffalo Bills are at least located in the same state their team is named after.
They're not located in Buffalo, though.
And the Jets aren't located in New York, and guess who plays in the same stadium as the Jets?
Okay, you can say whatever you want to, but the Bills are taking on the Jets. I think week one, I'm saying the Bills win this one. I think Josh Allen's going to overpower the Jets defense, and the Jets defense is so good, whatever. I don't care. Josh Allen's going to roll out there. He's going to cook something up with Stephon Diggs. I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow start for that Jets offense. It sounds like they're splitting carries with Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, and Michael Carter very evenly in week one. I think the Bills walk away with a win.
Josh Allen's going to pin down submissive Aaron Rodgers and show him what AFC football's really like. Truly can't wait to see that on live television in 4K color. Ooh. And we will be live streaming that game. Monday Night Football, we will be live streaming every game, most likely every game throughout the course of the year. So if you're still here in the podcast, you definitely are a fan, or you fell asleep while watching it. So either way, thank you. So what you may know as a non-Alaskan resident, they've got some moose up there. And people don't really appreciate how big a moose is until they've actually seen one. You may think, okay, like a bigger version of a deer, something like an elk, right? Incorrect. Moose are giant. And I don't mean like 500, 600 pounds. I mean an animal which stands on 4 legs was looking me in the eyes, even looking down on me somewhat, as I rounded the bend of a path while I was hiking in Alaska. I was minding my own business, taking a stroll in the woods, did not have the blower on me because I felt it did not need to be upped. I was wrong about that. Turned the corner of a path, 800-pound moose staring me down, 25 feet away from me. And you know what was standing 10 feet behind that moose?
What was standing?
It was its little moose calf. Uh-oh. And this is where I believe I'm a superior athlete to many. I think I might have a shot in the NFL as a cornerback because the back pedal I hit off that line of scrimmage, oh man, it would have made up all jealous. Trayvon Diggs can't hang with me, son. Those long, moving, quick stride, bum, 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 just 15 yards quick as I could around the back there. Moose did not come after me initially, but I jogged back to my car, right, eventually turn around. I stay in my car, it's at the trailhead. I'm texting somebody saying, oh, something cool just happened. 2 minutes after I get back in my car, guess what comes trotting down that path?
The moose.
Oh, my moose. She was looking for me. She wanted to have a word.
Did she have a word?
No, I was in my car. My massive Homo sapien brain eluded her. Thankfully, she did not kick in my windshield, although she probably could have. Anyway, that was the Alaska story of the week.
Oh, I don't have any stories.
Yeah, because you're a loser.
I think we just cut it there.